welcome to a very special bonus edition of the Chill Put Podcast. In fact, it's so special. You can not only hear me, you can also see me today. Because we have lost a very, very dear friend to all of us. As you may have noticed, Brodie Brazil is no longer a part of NBC Sports California and is no longer part of the Sharks broadcasting team, so the pre and post game shows, which is just a huge loss to not only to this organisation but also to the Bay Area as a whole, because Brodie, he was literally one of a kind. He was literally one of a kind. So back in September, on his YouTube channel, and I'm going to put the links to that in the video in the episode description so you can go check this out. But on his YouTube channel, he did announce that his time at NBC Sports California was coming to an end after the A's concluded their regular season schedule for 2024. Yeah. So obviously we've started this for quite a bit of some time now because we wanted to see how the new Sharks pre-post game looked, and it's dreadful. It's dreadful. I tried to give a fair hearing, but I'm sorry, it's not the same without Brodie. You need Brodie back. Pre-post game show now just feels like it's dull. It's like dishwater. There's no enthusiasm. There's no energy. And given how we are still a few years away from getting back to where we once were, it's just dull. It's like, so I'm on my phone. Literally, I'm on my phone now for every game, whether it's Sharks or anyone else in the league. During intermissions, I'm on my phone. That's how bad it's got. So I did try, and I wanted to hold out until we see a few of those games first before we do this, to give a fair hearing. But I'm sorry, this is a bad decision. It is a bad decision, and this is the network's fault here. I know some people try to blame John Fisher, but unfortunately we can't blame John Fisher for every single problem in our lives. We can try, but yeah, no, sadly he is gone. Has now left NBC Sports California, which is a real shame. Because Brodie was one of a kind. There literally is never going to be another person like Brodie, and I think what really touches me the most about this is Brodie has been with the Sharks for as long as I've been with the Sharks. I've been a Shark since I was 12. In 2009, that was my first year as a Shark, and that's about when Brodie joined the Sharks team. So he's been there for 15 years, and of course this has been 2024 has been my 15th anniversary since joining the Sharks. So I think that's what really gets me the most about this, is that Brodie's been with the Sharks for as long as I've been with the Sharks. So to see him go, it feels like I'm losing a really great part of the San Jose Sharks. Like how whenever a really great player goes, like someone like Patrick Marleau or Joe Thornton or even Joe Pavelski, but the next wave of talent always comes in, so it doesn't feel like it's too big of a blow. But this, you can't just simply do that here with Brodie. I mean, you can't just then get someone new in and then go, oh well, Brodie was great, but we've got this guy now. You can't do that. Okay, we have on the Sharks. We have got one of the best broadcasting teams. It's one of the many reasons I love being a Shark. We have got some of the best, especially our play-by-play announcers, Randy Hard, Amanda. We've got one of the best broadcasting teams, and Brodie was a part of that recipe for success. And I think one thing I loved about Brodie was how he was not like any other sports broadcaster who just came in, did the job, and then just obviously go again. Now, Brodie showed enthusiasm. Brodie showed passion for the game. Now, when I'm watching a sports program, I don't want to see, 3 or 4 or how many pounds you have on. I don't want to see 3 to 4 powerlifters just sitting there and just, not really showing any enthusiasm. It's like, I want to see from your body language, I want to see if you're happy about that result, or if you're sad about it, or you're mad about it. Don't just be like, well, just like, I did that bit. Brodie showed passion, Brodie showed enthusiasm because Brodie cared about the teams that he was covering. He cared deeply about the A's, even though the hell the A's have put us through, particularly these last 5 years. Brodie still showed up, he still covered them, and did it very enthusiastically. Even these last 5 years, the Sharks have been in a little bit of a slump, because obviously we got rid of Joe Pavelski. Brodie still showed up, still showed enthusiasm, and Brodie managed to, particularly last season, he managed to find ways to make what had been really great big spankings, which we can't deserve. He managed to find ways to make those not seem as bad as they looked. You name 5 other broadcasters for any other team in the AHL that could do that, So that just shows how much Brodie cares about the teams that he has been covering for how many years it's been. Right. So that just shows how much he cares about the teams he's working with. He's not one of those guys who just comes in, does the job, then goes back home again. Cash the paycheck, pay the tax. He actually really cares about the teams that he's been working with, and you've seen that enthusiasm. And what is also great is how he has also made the effort to connect with the fans. Here's the bit that I learned over the weekend, right? Brodie's YouTube channel has got more subscribers than the Sharks' YouTube channel. Brodie's got about 50,000. Sharks have only got about 37,000 the last time I checked. Need to double check that though. But so Brodie's got more subscribers, and I am one of them, on his YouTube channel than the Saturday Sharks have got. Now that should tell you something, okay? Now this decision clearly was a network decision. It was not the Sharks' decision. And I still think there should be a way that Brodie should still be able to work with the Sharks, even if he's no longer involved with NBC. But sadly, those are the breaks. So yeah, and Brodie connected with us, the fans. He connected with us through his YouTube channel. In the 2021-22 season, and this shows a huge dedication to your work. In the 21-22 season, on his YouTube channel, after every Sharks game, he did a night shift where he gave his own thoughts about the game. So you could basically say what you can't say on pre and post game, because obviously you've got to be kind of impartial on when you go on those shows. He had his own unique thoughts, and then he opened to talk to us, the fans. He opened us and asked us to comment, and I did comment every now and then. I couldn't watch them all live. Most of them I had to watch the next day because of time in the UK, but a couple of them I was tuning live and did some thoughts. And they were also really helpful for me with my show, because obviously in that season we had obviously the Beijing Olympics. Now the league did not end up going to those games, but I was still going to take that time out from the AHL and focus on Olympics. So I ended up having to miss 3 Sharks games, and rather than go back and watch those highlights, which I always do if I've not seen a game, I always go watch the highlights so I can then analyse them and put my thoughts in ready for the show. What I did instead for those 3 was watch the night shift Brodie did, and that gave me a real thought on how the game went, when I was then put into for that particular episode of Tier Report. It was a thought. So yeah, so that was really great. So that was back in season 4, I think. Yeah, season 4. That was back in season 4 of Tier Report. So that was really helpful for those 3 games. Yeah. So he engaged with all, but he engaged with his fans, through his YouTube channel, and he was just so engaging, what other sport broadcasters are going and actually engage with, take the time to engage with the fans, interact with the fans, and get, their perspective of what's going on with the teams. That was brilliant. And there was one thing that stood out from during Sharks broadcast, which sadly is no longer a thing, and this probably shows my age. I can remember though those early years when I was with the Sharks, and this was back in the day where you could actually do a live streams on Twitter. I remember during the commercial breaks on the intermission live, Brodie and Curtis would then carry the show on, but it would go on Twitter, and it was very off the cuff. You could tell if you ever watched those Twitter intermissions. You know that this was off the cuff. This was not on camera. You know that it was like they were very well aware that everyone's got a commercial. We can say and do what the hell we like. And you saw the camaraderie between those two. You saw the band between those two. And there were some really funny little moments every now and then from time to time. That was quite brilliant. Yeah, I remember thinking about that. Name me 5 other teams in the NHL that actually does this, because I don't think you can. It was brilliant. Sadly, we don't do the Twitter intermissions anymore. I can't remember when they stopped doing them, but I can't remember the last time I saw one of them. But yeah, it's one of the things that stood the Sharks out from all the other teams. The fact that we, are still rolling when everyone's on commercial, and we are engaging with, the culture that we're in today. How social media was literally building back then. We're engaged with that, and we're going on Twitter and seeing what's on Twitter. And you've got a lot of fans from those. A lot of fans did tune to those. I was one of them. You don't want to watch commercials or a blank screen, depending on what the NHL TV was giving you during the commercials. You were. So yeah, they were really, really fun. And you could see these two. The Twitter missions at times I made kind of felt like these were two Jack and the lads. It was like literally having fun. It was almost like they forgot the camera was there. And it's like, right, we're just gonna do how we like for the next 2 or 3 minutes, or how long this commercial break is. And you were surprised because those commercial breaks, they are not long between breaks in play or in the intermissions. So the fact that they've managed to do those very quickly was brilliant. But that was good, yeah. And they had quite fun. I mean, Brodie also at one point also dressed up as Robin in what was a very, very, very tight suit that made it impossible to stand up during one part of an intermission live quite recently. So that was and also, we can't forget his interactions with SJ Sharkey. I don't want to say the love-hate that these two had, more the frenemies. Should we go there? We'll go frenemies. The frenemies that these two have been, I mean, the fact that Sharky managed to go away with doing a lot to Brodie, like the toilet paper, the chirps, everything. And these two actually gave me one of my favourite moments during the pandemic. And that was that Brodie and Sharky, and I will also put this in the episode description so that you can find it. But during the early days of the pandemic, so this was back in 2020, Brodie and Sharky actually did an interview. Yes! Brodie actually did interview Sharky. It's quite brilliant. Sharky got a Sharpie pen and a whiteboard. It was brilliant. And you could see the frenemy bar was there. So that was quite good. So that's okay. What the sports broadcast is actually going to interview a team's mascot during one of the biggest global pandemics they hit us since since this century. It was brilliant. It was priceless, and it was kind of one of those cheer me up moments that we kind of needed. Because I don't know about you guys, but COVID is quite a struggle here. So if you could find one of those moments, that was brilliant. But yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah, so those two have had quite the frenemy vibe over definitely the last 15 years. That's something I'm gonna miss, because what's Sharky gonna do now? Who's gonna be the fall guy that will to Sharky's antics now? Could you get away with it now with the new guy? I don't think so. But who's gonna be that fall guy now that has to deal with Sharky's antics? I mean, the fact that Brodie was willing to be that fall guy, that just shows what true character he is. And I also want to point out how true a gentleman Brodie is, the fact that he actually did go to the Sharks Herpler a few weeks ago, that just shows what a true class gentleman he is. You know, you've been let go from the broadcaster you spent a very long time with. You no longer get to present shows that you love, but yet he still went down to that Herpler like the true gentleman that he is. He's a real testament. But yeah, so that is yeah, so it is a real shame to see him go, and I think it's really upsetting because over this past summer there was a lot of enthusiasm for the road ahead. A lot of my third tier town citizens could now see that there was a way out of the tunnel. The light was there, you can see the light, but it's still far off the distance. We're still probably maybe a good 5-7 years away. I know, right? I know. Please hold back with me here. We're still a bit about 5 to 7 years away from the light, but the path is now there. And a lot of people are now calling this like a resurgence era. Well, that's technically Barracuda, but it's kind of a shame that Brodie doesn't get to be on the broadcasting team for this resurgence era for the Sharks. So he doesn't get to, you know, we don't get to hear his thoughts about Max Cerebrini on actual television, or Will Smith, or one day Yaroslav Askarov, because he's going to be a future starting number for the Sharks in a few years' time. It is a real shame, you know, because there was a lot of positivity in the summer about the light is there. We just need to find a way to just dig ourselves out the tunnel. And sadly, Brodie does not get to be a part of that, which is a real shame. Because I would love on, you know, doing information and pre and post game to get his thoughts about the team where it is right now. And sadly, we can't have that. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll get him back one day. Because Drew Mender did get. I can't remember when this was, but Drew Mender did get let go at one point, and in the last few years they actually have managed to bring him back. So maybe this is what will happen to Brodie. He's in a few years' time, someone's going to realise, well, that was a great big mistake. Yeah, it was, and then just bring him back. We can only live in hope. I mean, he's still quite young. He's still quite good looking. So age not the problem there. In America, you've got to work till you drop. You don't get a pension in America. Right, so basically got to work your job. So he can bring back. He can bring back your stuff. But yeah, but that is the real shame. But right now, for this moment, he doesn't get to be part of it, which is a real. It's a real shame. It is a real shame. It is a huge loss. You can't. And what we've seen so far in the first half of October, these first few games of the season, so far, that I've been proven correct. I've been proven right. What was he even thinking? What NBC even thinking? And even now, if you watch Sharks games, they have a little commercial advertised this new year Sharks pre and post game, and I'm like, really? That's the best you could come up with? It's like watching dishwater. It really is. I'm not sure if I can say that, but I've said it. Yeah, so it is a real shame. Seeing though, because Brodie was one of a kind. Name me a 5 other sports broadcasters that will have done what Brodie has done in these 15 years for the Sharks. I don't think you'll find it. And that just makes him, you know, one of a kind. It makes him approachable. It makes him likable. It shows that he is authentic and he is willing to connect with the fans, and he did, and he's done that brilliantly with his youth child, which is still, you know, bringing out the content, which is really great to see that. Because I think, sadly, that might be my way we get to see Brodie now for his YouTube channel. So you're going to need to keep that up, Brodie. We can't lose you completely. But yeah, yeah. So it is a real shame. And for me, it's hitting quite big because you know Brodie's been with the Sharks for as long as I have, so it's, I mean, yeah, but so, but yeah, so he has been one of a kind, and it is a shame to see him go. And it is real sad. It is a real sad. And what's really sad is that he doesn't get to have a proper goodbye, because obviously at the end of last season we didn't know this was going to happen. I mean, I realised that we didn't know that we were going to lose probably the greatest broadcaster to ever be on Sharks pre and post game. We didn't know that, so sadly we don't get to have a farewell for Brodie. We don't get to do like a reel of here's your best bits of the last 15 years. You know, we don't get to give him. He doesn't get to have like one last game, you know, the Sharks and say goodbye properly. That is a real shame. And that's a real blow, because for someone like Brodie, just to be ceremoniously let go of the broadcast by that and not given an opportunity to be allowed like a last hurrah, like a lap of honour with the teams that he's worked for over the last how many years. I just don't think that's right. Although, if he did get that with the Sharks, it probably would have ended with Sharky and the toilet paper gun. So, maybe Brodie had a look at escape there. But, you know, I think he would have put it a lot last time, you know. But, anyway, yeah. Yeah, it is a real shame to see him go. And he will be missed. He will absolutely be missed. I think it's a terrible decision, but there again, them's the breaks, as they say. Them's is the breaks. And I just don't see why there's a reason that Brodie can't be involved with the Sharks right now. I mean, because this was not the Sharks' call. This was the broadcaster. This was NBC Sports California. They're the ones that did this. So surely there should be a way to still have Brodie be involved with the Sharks organisation somehow. Because you saw his energy, you saw his passion on pre and post game, you saw it in the missions. So it kind of feels like he should still be involved with his organisation somehow. But right now, I can't think of what that is. Someone probably will, and maybe that someone will give Brodie what the break he needs, but or the lifeline he needs, because we don't know what he's going to do next. But yeah, so it doesn't feel right, you know. It doesn't feel right watching Sharks games and knowing that Brodie's not there. It doesn't feel right. You should only really have that feeling when someone's actually gone, you know, as in, you know what I mean? Yeah. You should only have that feeling when someone's literally gone, not when someone who's been gone but is still alive and kicking. You know, and I honestly thought maybe we had like a maybe good another 20, 25 years to go with Brodie on Sharks pre and post game, but clearly not. I thought he'd be a staple like Randy Hahn's been, like Dan Rosanowski had been. But clearly not. Have him go and do some of the audio coverage with Dan Rosanowski. You know, if he can't be, if he's not allowed to be on the telly, go and have him do the radio with the coverage with Dan Rosanowski. See if he can do play-by-play. See how it, you know, but just something. And it's almost like I'm trying to please the Sharks Nation to somehow get Brodie back. If it can't be his old job, then maybe in some other form of job in the organisation. You know, maybe just, I don't know. But all I say is, Brodie, you are literally one of a kind. I don't know if you're going to be watching this or listening to this, but if you are, I will say on behalf of all of us Sharks fans over the past 15 years, I'd like to say thank you for your service. Oh, that's cliche. I know that's a bit corny for you Yanks, but just to thank you for everything that you've done over the last 15 years. And I'll finish off by saying this. if you're ever hanging around the tank the next time I'm in San Jose, come say hello, and there'll be a massive shark hug waiting for you. But yeah, so all I feel to say is, Brodie Brazil, thank you for everything.